You see, everything will become alive starts with a choice. First, we make a choice and then we become that choice. Like in our life, the first decision we have to make is whether we're content with where we are, or if we're not, how can we make things better for us and for the people around us? And now this dictates how our life turns out. And I know making decisions is not easy, because then you have to back it up with actions. And actions are more difficult than any other thing. Because look, doing nothing is easy. 95% of the population on planet Earth does nothing. And that's why there's only 5% who are extraordinary, who goes above and beyond, who challenges themselves every day to become better. Becoming better is an action, is a lifestyle. It's something that you have to self-impose. You have to be focused on it. You have to concentrate on it. You have to live it. Okay, so we've decided we want to become better. We want a better goal, a better outcome in life. And now, how do we orient ourselves to focus solely on that thing? Like giving it 100% above every other thing. Just imagine trying to get better in one area of your life, just one aspect of your life above every other thing that comes your way. Allowing that to become your motive, how to make things better for you and people around you. Because most of the people who celebrate today are known for just one thing, one area. They become specialists in that area. They become celebrated in that area. And so it takes a lot of difficulty, a lot of discipline, a lot of commitment, a lot of consistency to overlook every other opportunity that comes your way and say, this one area I am going to get better. I'm going to become the best. I'm going to improve on it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to give it everything I have, even if it takes me. And honestly, look, I'm not saying this is simple. In fact, it is the hardest thing to do. It would be one of the hardest things you've ever done. Any other thing you would come across or you would ever do. The focus, the discipline to focus on one thing, one area above every other thing. It is hard. And that's why there are very few people who are doing these things. Trying to pick just one thing from the thousands of things that come our way every single day. Imagine on your social media feed every day, you get thousands bombarded with different notifications that are not relevant to your life. They're not contributing anything in your life. Just imagine having that discipline to forgo all that and just concentrate on one area and say, this area I'm going to improve. This area I'm going to get better. This area I want to become better than I am yesterday. You're not even trying to become all you can be in one day. You just need gradual improvement, becoming better than yesterday. That's why they say you are your own competition. Because if you can better yourself yesterday, within a year, who knows how good you can become in anything you do? Who knows how you can't even imagine? Like, human being, our improvement is unlimited. It's infinite. There's no limit to how better we can become. And that's why you see how good people become good, exceptional, because there's no limit. There's like the sky is your limit. People say there's actually no limit on how good people get. Look, to become regular is nothing. You just have to do nothing. Sit in your comfort zone. Do the same thing you've been doing for years. There's nothing about that. But becoming a specialist, becoming something different, now that takes something special. And I know there's many obstacles that stops us from even trying to become better. One of them is failure. You might have failed so many times, you threw in the towel. Another thing is becoming ashamed. You don't want to seem like you don't know what you're doing. You're a rookie. You're starting afresh. People are going to laugh at you. You're going to become, you used to be a professional in this area. Now you're just learning the ropes. What people would say. That stops a lot of people from even trying. So I know starting is hard. Starting as a beginner, it is hard. But remember, you can only get better once you start from there. You can never become a beginner again in that field. You would learn the rope. You will improve day by day. You would gather experience. It's like coming to a fork in the road. You make the decision to go this direction or that direction. When you pick the right direction, you don't just arrive at your destination. You have to walk for miles on end, gathering a lot of experience, a lot of exposures, a lot of observation before you finally get to your destination. And if you've picked the wrong direction, you have to walk at least some miles before you realize, I'm on the wrong path. I need to pivot. I need to make a change. So don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about the laughters. Jim Rohn says these are the laughters and the mockers. That's what they do. They laugh and mock. They're like the crabs at the bottom. They want company, so they don't want you to work on yourself. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to become something because they want company. If everyone leaves them, they become the laughing stock. So they want crowd run. So don't get drawn into that argument. Be that person you want to be. And what you have to understand is, like, once you pick the right direction, once you start working on yourself, nature, life is here to support you. Just like plants, trees, animals, nature is always on your side to provide you with the best amenities to help you get better, to help you develop, to help you become who you want to be. And there's always those people there. A lot of people want to support someone who is doing something already. I see a lot of posts on social media. Some people say, oh, can you help me? I want to get something doing. I want to start something doing. Most people want to see you doing something first, and then they come and support you. Because they want to see at least a trademark, a legacy, something you've invested in yourself. Most people are not ready to invest in someone who is not willing to invest in themselves first. So before you go out asking for handout, have something to show. Have something to show, like, look, I've done this on my own, and if I get support, I can do better. And that's what businesses do. They go to investors and say, look, this is this I've done. If you come, I can expand. When you go asking for help, go asking for help in order to expand, not in order to start, because people would only support you when you show them evidence. They say a lot of investors invest in people with pedigree. Once you've gone past that first stage of starting a business, next stage, people trust you. They want to invest with you because now they know you can deliver. So don't go out asking for handout with nothing. Go ask for help with something to show. People want to invest in you, but you have to be willing to possess something they can invest in. Even you don't want to put your money in something you can't get return. So don't ask for handout. Ask to contribute. Ask to be part of something. Ask to grow with something. Because once there's that side of you that wants to get better, as human, there's always the part of us that wants to stay where we are, that's working against us. It does not want to do anything. An example is, ask yourself, how many times do you spend reading a book? Instead of scrolling through social media feeds, going through feeds that adds nothing to your life, adds no value to you, that helps you in no way, even though you know this, but every day you spend at least an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours on social media scrolling different feeds that adds no value to your life. That's how human is. Our life wants to do nothing. Our life wants to sit comfortable in one position. So you have to fight against this. You have to break that chain. Even though we know that those elements of our lives, you know that those elements of your personalities are not serving you. They're not serving anyone around you. But that doesn't mean they're easy to get rid of. That doesn't mean it's easy to put away, walk away from. Without long-term negotiation, long-term self-imposed battle, long-term commitment, long-term persistent, immovable attitude. That's what you need to break these chains, this thing that wants to keep you in one place. So make a decision. Do you want to get better, Do you want to improve? Do you want to become what you could become? Because a lot of us suffer. A lot of us go through anguish because we know we're not attaining our goal. We're not reaching our full potential. We're not becoming what we are put on this planet to become. Some want to become writers, some want to become bankers, some want to become an accountant, some want to become a tennis player, footballers, some want to become so many things. Some people just want to have a job. But we are not pushing ourselves as fast as we can go, and we hate ourselves for that. Because why we spend more than 20 hours a week going through social media feeds that adds nothing to our life. They take away from us. But why? We know if we add a quarter of that hour to self-development, learning something, there's so many online certification today. You could become a project manager, not even going to university. You could become an accountant, you don't even need to go to university. A lawyer, there's so many online courses, free books online you can read to become better. There's everything you want to learn, you can learn from YouTube. How to. But we don't want to push ourselves. We rather sit on one side, complain, mourn, blame. Why? Because it's easier to do all those things than to look at yourself in the face and say, look, I am a failure. I'm not applying myself. I need to get better. So there's something Jordan Peterson says. It says, you have to watch out for these three things: resentment, arrogance, and deceit. They would bring about your downfall. If you can reduce the influence these things have over your life, you are sure to go places. So it says, check yourself constantly. Ask yourself, am I lying to myself? Because most people will lie to themselves. That's the first place. You can lie to others, but you can't lie to yourself. You know what you can do and what you can do. So ask yourself, am I lying to myself? Is my action serving me and other people around me? Am I refusing to learn because I want to be seen like I know? I want to be seen like someone with knowledge, someone who's right, instead of learning? Am I focusing on revenge instead of moving on, instead of getting better, instead of developing myself, instead of becoming who I'm put on this planet to become? And look, don't beat yourself up. You are not achieving all you want in a day. It's difficult. No one does that. It takes time. As far as you are improving gradually, step by step, day by day, you would achieve your greatness. Achieving greatness is hard. It doesn't happen in one swoop. If not, everyone will be great. No one will be basic. No one will be mediocre. No one would be average. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and Michelle K. Williams was saying people were average, and a lot of people took annoyance to that. Calling people average, mediocre. But the thing is, if you're not reaching your full potential, you are mediocre. If you're not becoming what you've put on this planet to become, you're mediocre. If you're just doing the basic, the average, you are mediocre. If you are spending more time scrolling through social media feed than improving yourself in one particular area, you are mediocre, you are average, you're just regular. You're just regular, and regular doesn't do it anymore these days. You have to become supernatural, superhuman. We all have the ability to become better, but we have to make that decision. Do we want to become better, or we just want to become who we are? Regular, it's comfort zone. Comfort zone is being regular, staying in the same lane, not becoming more than you are put on this planet to become. And who knows who you could become if you finally become everything you could become. Look, all humans have an unlimited growth potential, infinite growth potential. Imagine if you use some of those 20 hours you spend a week on social media to study for maybe a chartered accountancy course, maybe a project management course, maybe a BI course. All these professional courses require less than 3 hours study a day. 3 hours study a day. To become like a chartered accountant, you earn an average of £60,000 a year. A project manager, the same, even more. A BI analyst, a data analyst, all these things you don't have to go to university to learn it. The days of saying, look, my parent couldn't send me to school, I can't afford the university, it's over. You don't need to go to a higher institution to develop yourself. And that's the word again. I go back to Jim Rohn saying education. Education is self-inducement. The word education comes from Latin word educo, means self-induced, what you can bring out of yourself. So imagine being able to utilize that 20 hours you put in scrolling social media into self-serving. Imagine put that hours, 1/4 of it, into something that can serve you. Imagine who you could become. Imagine what your life will turn out to be. Who knows what you will become? For sure, you certainly become more than you are today. The problem is everyone knows this. Everyone suffers from knowing that they are not reaching their full potential. Only very few people in life have, a well-thought goal, well-thought plan, well-thought strategy, either to say something or do something, and they know they're not doing or saying that thing, and that feeling imprisons them. Like Les Brown said, we all die with our talent in us. Like when we're lying by our bedside, we have all the spirit of unachieved goals looking out and say, look, we came to you, you couldn't do this, you couldn't bring us to the world, now we're dying with you. That's the thing that we suffer with most, knowing that we are not achieving our full potential. And when I say stop lying to yourself, these are the things. When you lie to yourself, these are the things. Stop lying to yourself. My experience is that there is nothing more rewarding than trying to improve on yourself and help those around you become something. There is nothing more adventurous than starting new, starting from a place of obscurity, being a novice, being an apprenticeship, willing to learn, willing to go through the rules. There is nothing more rewarding than that, because you've put yourself out there. Now you have to back yourself. So what I'm saying is, whatever is holding you back, wherever you think you could become but you're not becoming, ask yourself this question: am I comfortable where I am, or do I need to make the decision?